Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 2 tips for tomorrow's racing, which will feature my nap in the Irish Grand National. Now before I reveal those, quickly just want to go through a couple of things with you. Now first of all, if you haven't done so already, make sure you check out the latest In the Saddle podcast, where as our special guest we were joined by Robbie Power previewing the Irish Grand National. So if you want to listen to it, we've got all the major podcast platforms covered, including the likes of Spotify, Soundcloud and Apple. Whichever one takes your fancy, just hit one of the links in the description box below. Also as well, quickly want to apologise for not doing a video on Easter Sunday. I did make it clear in my last video that there wouldn't be a recording for today, so that's why there wasn't. Also as well, let's quickly just reflect on the tips for Saturday's racing. In the end, it was a good day on the YouTube channel as we had a winning nap and next best. My nap of the day was Sexy Lot, who got the job done at Haydock. I thought it was a good ride by Fergus Gillard, and that mare just keeps on improving. She's not finished outside of the first 2 since November, I think. She just keeps finding lots of improvement, and it'll be interesting to see what the handicapper does. She keeps defying him, but she keeps responding as well. So yeah, be interesting to see what the plan is with her, or if she'll have a break now. And then the other tip that did well for us was Small Present. He really battled hard. I said that he had a really tough, hardy profile, and I thought he would just win the race. It did look in trouble. He did look in trouble at 1 or 2 stages in the race, but he just kept finding under Ryan Mania. And it's a classic case of a late swooper coming on, and that was Small Present, and that was a nice little earner for us there. The other horse that ran okay for us, he got the place money, was Nate the Great. Okay, you might have made a small loss there because we did recommend him each way at 4-1, but you're pretty much getting your money back, so I was willing to take a chance with that one. And yeah, the other selections were slightly disappointing, but they could still be ones to follow for another day. So yeah, not a bad day on Saturday, and it means moving on to tomorrow, we're looking for the Nap hat-trick, so fingers crossed we can find it in the Irish Grand National. But before I give you that my tip for that race, I quickly want to give you my next best for tomorrow, my first pick, which is going to be running in the feature race at Kempton, which is the 402 Snowdrop Listed Filly Stakes. And I think Marco Botti has got a really good chance in this race with his filly called Made in Italy, where Hollie Doyle is booked for the ride. You can currently back her at 10-1 with bookmakers at the moment, and as my next best of the day, I'm going to recommend a 0.5 each way selection here. Now this horse I thought was really impressive, considering she was really weak in the market when she won at Newcastle. Hollie gave her a patient ride that day. She didn't look that she was in a panic at all, and when the gaps opened up, she just went through them like a knife through butter and won pretty cosily in the end. Hollie didn't have to ask for too much of an effort, and it was a really good job, beating a few nice fillies. One of the fillies that placed in behind her for Richard Hannon ran okay in the fillies and mares race on all-weather finals day, so that form has got a little bit of substance to it. But I think this horse is one that could still have a little bit more to come up her sleeve. As a 3-year-old, she ran in some fair races. She was actually tried over in Italy in group company, and okay, Italian group racing isn't going to be the same standard you would think as over here, but she didn't disgrace herself at all. She made the frame on one of those starts and she ran okay on her other one. So yeah, she's definitely a classy filly, and I think she's got untapped potential here in the UK. Some of those races were over in Italy, they were over slightly further, but I think over a mile, in a strongly run mile, this filly, like I said, she might have a bit more up her sleeve. Also as well, she's done well here on the all-weather. Like I said, her last win came at Newcastle, but in her early days, she was tried on the all-weather at Lingfield, where she notched up a victory. So she clearly handles the surface, and she's got a rating of 98, which doesn't leave her with too much to find with the majority of her rivals. She's got a good draw in stall 3 tomorrow, where she can either go handy, you know, or be held up. She's very versatile tactically. In her early days, she was up there with the pace, but her most recent start, she has been held up. But I think either way, Hollie Doyle will give her a really good spin. Also as well, she's got plenty of trends in her favour. Marco Botti likes to target fillies in this race. He won it 3 times in the last few years, back in 2015, 2016 and 2017. So it's a race the trainer likes to target. And also as well, 4-year-olds have got a fantastic record in this race. Okay, there's a lot of 4-year-olds in this race, but they've won all the renewals of the race since 2013. So I just think there's a lot to like about the chances of Made in Italy tomorrow. Like I said, she's a double figure price in the betting, which I think is clearly the wrong price for her. I think she should be half her price, really. I think she should be up there, maybe a second or third favourite around about the 5-1 mark. So yeah, I think she's got a great chance tomorrow, and I'll be disappointed if she can at least make the frame for us. So that's why she is going to be my next bet of the day in the 4:02 at Kempton. We then move to the nap of the day, which is going to be running in the Irish Grand National, which is the 5 o'clock at Fairyhouse, the feature of the day. And my nap here is going to be Agusta Gold for supposedly Paul Townend riding for Willie Mullins. Now, this afternoon, I do believe, I haven't really watched much of the racing, to be honest with you, this afternoon, but what I gathered was Paul Townend ended up going over to hospital in the end. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to ride tomorrow or if he's going to be given the green light and be able to ride it, but if he doesn't ride it, I imagine Danny Mullins will get the nod to ride this one. But if he was to ride it, wouldn't be a problem at all, because he's ridden this mare many times during her career when she was previously trained by Mags Mullins. But going back to the profile of this horse, Agusta Gold, I think she ticks a lot of boxes for this race. You can currently bet her at 17-2 with SkyBet, who are offering a mighty 7 places on the race. Hopefully they withstand all their ground and they don't shrink those extra places. But yeah, going back to Agusta Gold, she does have a rating of 146, but I think she does have a race in her of this nature, and I think she's clearly been laid out for the race. She finished second last year at Punchestown in the Irish National trial, where she was just mowed down by If You Catch Me Now for Willie Mullins, who she had to give a lot of weight away that day. So I still think that was a really credible effort, but I think ever since then, Connections have had this race in mind for her. She's had a really lightly race campaign this year. She won on her reappearance at Fairyhouse over 2.5 miles, where she won a Grade 3 mares chase. She obviously clearly needed further, but she got the job done. And then her last effort was in a race over hurdles, where she raced at Navan. She finished in 4th place that day. Okay, she's got a lot lower hurdle mark, but I think they were trying to protect that mark for this day, and she's very versatile when it comes to all kinds of ground. She started off some of her early days going around Wexford on good ground, and she's run in heavy and run fairly well in the past. So she's very versatile ground-wise, so I wouldn't really worry about that. I think she's got a fair mark, and we've seen so far this year that mares could be the way to go in some of these big handicaps, especially like, for example, at Cheltenham. We had Heaven Help Us. We had also as well Mrs. Milner, who was a good result for us at the Cheltenham Festival, so mares can win these decent handicaps, and I think Agusta Gold has been completely laid out for the race. Now, I know a lot of people will like Latest Exhibition, and clearly so, I can understand why he's attracting the support and why he is the clear favourite. Off a mark of 153 with his form behind Monkfish, it reads exceptionally well, and you would think that he's probably rated 160. But for me, in a race of this nature, I'd rather take him on. And I think also as well, what he's got to answer is, will he be able to stay the extra half mile? It's going to be a long way home for him. Well, we know Agusta Gold can stay the trip. Like I said, she was just touched off in the Irish Grand National trial last year, so I think she looks more of a Forestier than Latest Exhibition, in my opinion. But obviously he could absolutely bolt up, and this opinion could be completely torn to shreds. But I can understand why loads of people are jumping on the bandwagon with the Sexy Novices that look well in and their novice form reads well. But sometimes it can be a little bit of a different ball game moving into these races. Whereas, like I said here with Agusta Gold, you clearly look at her. She's now with the right trainer, Willie Mullins, who's won the race before, won it back in 2017 with 2019, with Barrow Saint, and clearly looks like been laid out for the race with only the 2 runs so far this season. So I think Agusta Gold has got a lot in her favour, and I think at 17-2, I'd be disappointed if she didn't go close to winning this race, and I think she will be quite a lot shorter in the betting come post time tomorrow. I could seen her being well supported on the day. So Agusta Gold it is, my nap in the 5 o'clock at Fairyhouse, the Irish Grand National. So quickly then recap the two tips. In the 402 at Kempton, Made in Italy is the next best of the day, 10 to 1, 0.5 each way. And then the 5 o'clock at Fairyhouse, the feature race of the day, Agusta Gold is the nap in the Irish Grand National, 17 to 2, 1 point each way, 7 places SkyBet. So they're the two tips for tomorrow's racing. If you're enjoying these videos, please remember to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe here to my YouTube channel at LuckyLoaders15. Also as well, if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's the only place you can do so on social media, where my handle is at LuckyLoader15. And if you want to find out a little bit more about myself, my website address is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.